to be able to say, yes, I want this because I want it. I can eat a few bites of it. And then 3 weeks from now, if I want more, I can have another few bites of it. Not, you're fat, you're awful, you should never touch that again, you're gonna gain 5 pounds, that's too much sugar. All of the things that our brains typically. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another Mounjaro video. As promised, today we are talking all about how Mounjaro personally affected me and my brain. I cannot wait to delve into this with you guys. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Hey guys, so if you are new here, my name is Brittany and I have lost 70 plus pounds now on Mounjaro in the past year and a half. We're approaching the year and a half mark, and I currently am on bi-weekly injections of 10 milligrams if I can find it, that is, before my next shot is due. But that is currently what my dosage is. I did it every week until about this past August, and I've been on bi-weekly injections since then, and that has been working great for maintenance mode for me. So we're gonna go ahead and delve into this. If you have missed my other videos that I have done recently, I've been doing a lot more educational based videos on Mounjaro, such as how Mounjaro really works, why you might not be losing weight on Mounjaro, that type of thing. So if you're interested in that, you might wanna go and check those videos out first before you watch this one, because I did mention that I was going to be filming a video where I talk more about my personal experience with Mounjaro. So those videos are the last couple that I posted. Go and check those out if you are interested. We're gonna jump right on into it. So just a little backstory, because I feel like that is important. I have been overweight in some capacity, as much as even being morbidly obese my entire life. And I do think that there was largely a mental aspect to that. My parents, both of my parents, but my dad specifically, was very weight focused my entire childhood. So from a very young age, sort of the whole like being skinny, being fat, weight number on the scale type of thing was drilled into me. And I actually have a sister, my older sister, that was born and always was very naturally skinny. And so there was a lot of comparison of me and my younger sisters to my older sisters. For example, I can even remember one time my dad made a comment to my mom, which my mom then repeated, which she obviously should not have, but she did, that if I could lose, 20 or 30 pounds, that I could be a supermodel, right? And I'm like maybe in middle school at this point, right? And so he said that to my mom on a date, and then my mom repeated it to me. And so those are the types, just for an example, those are the types of things that I was hearing for pretty much my whole childhood. So I never really, although I was hearing these things, I never really focused heavily on weight loss, because throughout middle and high school, if I did activities or sports, or I was a member of the color guard, I was able to keep my weight at a relatively okay part, like, relatively being, 15 to 20 pounds overweight. I was able to keep myself there. But once I left high school and I got to college and I wasn't doing as much exercising, I did start to pack on weight. Also, just having the freedom of eating what I wanted when I was, over 18, and my mom couldn't tell me that I couldn't have the energy drinks and the fast food all the time. Like, I was driving myself and using my own money and all of that. I was able to indulge in a lot more stuff that I otherwise wouldn't have had access to. So I started to gain some weight. And so the first time that I really remember, I'm sort of summarizing this really quickly so that we can get to Mounjaro, but the first time that I really remember going on a diet was when I was about to get married. So I was engaged to my husband. I was on this diet to lose weight for the wedding, and I did lose between 35 and 40 pounds, but I was starving myself. So I would eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, most times on the 1,000 end. And then on Saturdays, I would have this huge you know, like cheat day. It would be a huge binge all day Saturday, and then I would start over on Sunday. And I was losing weight that way. I would lose a couple of pounds a week. And I did lose all the weight. However, I've pretty much yo-yoed since then, right? So that was 2010. And pretty much my weight has gone up and down and fluctuated since then. And it took me probably 3 years to regain all of the weight that I had lost. I slowly, you know, it slowly started to creep back on, and then I would get pregnant and have a baby and start out heavier. And so it just got harder and harder the older and older I got. And it got to the point that I was super morbidly obese. And you know, in terms of when I was on a diet, I would quit that diet because my brain would tell me that I needed, you know, French fries, like the cravings, the part, my actual stomach would not growl, but my brain would say, you need French fries, you need this cookie, you know, whereas normal Brittany isn't even a huge sweets eater, I needed that cookie because I was telling myself I couldn't have it, right? So I would go on a diet and I would last, you know, sometimes a couple of weeks, sometimes not even a whole day. It really just depended, but it was this constant cycle of me hating my body, me trying to lose weight, maybe losing a little bit of weight, and then gaining it all back. And that pretty much happened from 2010, from when I got married, all the way up to 2022, when I found and started Mounjaro. So now that I've quickly gotten you here, let's go ahead and start on the Mounjaro journey. So in May of 2022, I actually had a tummy tuck, which I have an entire playlist on my other channel on that. If you want to, you know, delve into that journey, there's a whole playlist, probably 15 videos that I will link below of my whole like journey, recovery, cost, everything. But at that point, it was a plus size tummy tuck. I had a BMI at that time of 38 point something. And I went to my doctor and she was on board with doing it because I was otherwise healthier. And I thought that that would fix all of my issues. Like if I could get rid of the apron stomach that I had, I would be able to, you know, move better, live a healthier life, do more things that I otherwise couldn't do just because it would get in the way, that sort of thing. And so I went and I had this tummy tuck. And that did do wonders for my confidence, for my energy levels, for my mobility. It did wonders. And I 100% do not regret that. And I don't even regret the order in which I did it. But at some point after my tummy tuck, I started to realize that, you know, now things fit weird, you know, like my legs are super big, but my stomach isn't. So it's hard to find pants that fit. And I feel like my body looks odd and maybe I'm still not moving as fast as I would like to move. And I came across Erin Williams talking about Mounjaro. She used Mounjaro for a few months before her mommy makeover to lose the baby weight from her last baby. And I decided that I was going to ask my doctor about it. So just on a whim, which is mostly how I like to do things, I called my doctor, asked him if he prescribes it, if he knew about it, if he'd heard about it. He said, yes, come on in. So I scheduled an appointment and the rest is pretty much history. I have notes here, but I've already gone past and didn't even turn my page. So I did a lot of research before that appointment on what Mounjaro was. You guys know I am a researcher. I love to research all the things. I probably know more about Mounjaro than I ever need to know, but I do lots of reading personal stories, lots of reading studies and research on it and all of that. So I did a ton of that before I even went to the appointment. I go and I present my doctor with, this is what I found. Now you tell me what you know. And he basically was like, yep, this is all true. It can be wonderful, but it's probably pretty expensive. And I was very, very lucky and blessed to, at that time, be able to access the coupon for $25 a month, which I don't think is a thing in the same way anymore as it was. But essentially, November 2022, I started Mounjaro. And instantly, the brain aspect of it, the food noise, the cravings, my body fighting with my stomach, telling me I needed things that I didn't really need, that was instantly gone. And it has not returned. Even going bi-weekly, it's not returned. I understood for the first time, you know, I would go out to dinner, you know, my whole life with friends. Say we went on a girls' night to dinner and we would all order our food. And at the end of the meal, you know, they would have food left on their plates and I wouldn't. And it always made me wonder, like, am I just that much more hungry or that much bigger of an eater, or what was it? But I finally, when I started Mounjaro, understood what it was like to be satisfied enough to be able to push food away, right? Like, now my brain does not tell me that I have to finish an entire plate of food just because it's there. Whereas before, prior to Mounjaro, if you placed 5 cookies in front of me, I probably was going to eat all 5 cookies, just because even though I knew I didn't need them, my brain would tell me I did. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that this resonates with somebody, right? Because I mean, I feel like it probably does. But for the first time, I understood the being satisfied and literally not caring for more food. Whereas before, I spent my whole life thinking about my next meal, planning what it was going to be, especially if I was on a diet, planning what I was going to eat 4 days from now. If I was going to a restaurant that weekend, I was looking up the menu to see what I was going to get. Whereas now, I literally don't care. One thing I can remember when I was a kid is that, say, you know, my parents got pizza or fast food, or they were making a dinner that everybody really enjoyed. We had 6 kids in my family. And so it was this fight, like fight or flight, I guess. I don't know. But like, everybody had to rush to the table first and get their food before it was all gone. Everybody wanted to be the first one to get to the soda bottle or whatever. And now I'm just like, oh, I'll get there when I get there. I feel like that's probably the best way to reflect my mind right now. Before I was sprinting to the food, and now I'm just like, maybe I'll go to the bathroom first. Maybe I need to wash my hands. Maybe I need to write a letter. I don't know. I'll get to you when I get there. When I get to the food, I'll eat something, and probably not very much of it. That's kind of how I am now. And so I feel like this is something that people with normal brains, normal metabolisms, normal brain hormonal balance have been feeling their whole life. And those are probably the people saying that fat people are lazy, right? Because they're like, I just stop eating when I'm full, right? But our brains don't work that way. And we haven't been able to do that our whole lives. We have not been able to say no ever. And Mounjaro has been developed, and you know, Zepbound and Wegovy and Ozempic and all of these things have been developed to help our minds be able to turn off. And that is just absolutely amazing that we are able to do that. I also have no desire for alcohol, no desire for a lot of things that are like considered temptations that I otherwise would have had desires for. I just don't. My mind is clear. My mind is focused. It is not thinking about food, and it is able to turn things down. I am able to sit down with a slice of cake and eat 4 or 5 bites of it because I enjoy it and because I want it, and be done with it. Not sit down with this huge piece of cake and say, I have to eat this all right now because tomorrow I can't ever touch it again and I have to be on a diet. That's a huge difference between like even just like the intuitive eating aspect that so many dietitians push, you know, eat intuitively, but we just can't. Like, it's naturally, we just don't have the brain chemistry to do that. We just don't. It's just, we just don't. We have a disease, right? So Mounjaro gives you the tool to eat intuitively, to be able to say, yes, I want this because I want it. I can eat a few bites of it. And then 3 weeks from now, if I want more, I can have another few bites of it. Not, you're fat, you're awful, you should never touch that again, you're going to gain 5 pounds, that's too much sugar. All of the things that our brains typically told us, right? Yeah, so that is how Mounjaro has affected my brain. I feel like this is how Mounjaro affects most people's brains. I want to know down below. I want to know how you think differently about food. So Mounjaro essentially changed my entire mindset on food and how it's processed through my brain, how it's processed obviously through my stomach, but it has changed everything that I thought about food previously is not what I think about food anymore. And that is just so amazing and such a blessing that I've been able to do this for so long and to talk to you guys about doing this for so long. There are so many of you that are so kind and loving and encouraging to me and to others in the comments. And I love each and every one of you that are. If you're not one of those people, I don't know, move on, I guess. But yeah, so that's my video for you guys today. The next video that you're going to see in this series, we're talking injection sites, which I know a lot of you are looking forward to. So that one should hopefully come out, if not later this week, then next week. I'm also going to throw a what I eat in the day in there, you know, change up the content a little bit. Maybe we'll do like a vlog style where I'm like, what I eat in a day. Did I get my medicine? I have not called yet. So today is Sunday. I need a shot Friday. And I'm going to call in the morning and see. But as of Thursday, when I called, they weren't able to get it. So hopefully we are, and I don't have to go too long without it. So stay tuned for that update later in the week. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I love each and every one of you. I hope you have a great day. And don't forget, let's chat in the comments about how Mounjaro has changed your life with food. Have a great day, guys.